Once upon a time, in the heart of a land marred by conflict and turmoil, there lived a man whose words would become a beacon of hope and resilience for his people. His name was Mahmoud Darwish, and his life's journey would make him one of the most celebrated poets in the Arab world. Mahmoud Darwish was born on March 13, 1941, in the picturesque village of Al-Birwa, in what was then British Mandate Palestine. The village's serene beauty would leave an indelible mark on his poetic soul, but destiny had other plans for Darwish and his family. In 1948, when Mahmoud was only 7 years old, Al-Birwa, like many Palestinian villages, fell victim to the turmoil of the Arab-Israeli war. The Darwish family was among the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who became refugees overnight. This experience of exile and loss would shape Mahmoud's life and his poetry forever. Darwish, along with his family, was forced to relocate to a camp in southern Lebanon, a place that would serve as a crucible for his political awakening and the beginnings of his literary journey. In the refugee camp, Darwish found solace in poetry. He began writing at a young age, and his verses offered a lifeline of hope to his fellow refugees. It was here that he first discovered the transformative power of words. His early poems explored themes of loss, exile, and the indomitable spirit of the Palestinian people. In 1951, Darwish and his family returned to Palestine and settled in the city of Haifa, which had become part of the newly established State of Israel. In Haifa, he attended school and started publishing his early poems. It was during this time that he joined the Israeli Communist Party, finding common cause with their struggle for equality and justice. Throughout the 1960s, Darwish's reputation as a poet grew, and his poems began to address the Palestinian experience of exile, displacement, and resistance. He also became a prominent voice in the Palestinian national movement. His poems began to take on a more overtly political and nationalistic tone, reflecting the broader Palestinian struggle for self-determination and human rights. His words resonated not only with Palestinians, but with oppressed people around the world who recognized the universality of his themes. Darwish's poetry was a powerful testament to the Palestinian struggle for self-determination and human rights. His work captured the essence of the Palestinian experience, from the beauty of their homeland to the pain of exile and the hope for a brighter future. In 1967, following the Six-Day War, Darwish was arrested by Israeli authorities for his political activities and poems deemed subversive. During his imprisonment, he composed some of his most moving verses. His incarceration did not break his spirit, but rather fueled his commitment to the Palestinian cause. Upon his release, Darwish continued to write and travel. He lived in various countries, including Egypt and Lebanon, where he edited literary magazines and engaged with fellow poets and intellectuals. His work garnered international acclaim, earning him prestigious awards and recognition. Darwish's early writings are in the classical Arabic style. He wrote mono-rhymed poems adhering to the metrics of traditional Arabic poetry. In the 1970s, he began to stray from these precepts and adopted a free verse technique that did not abide strictly by classical poetic norms. The quasi-romantic diction of his early works gave way to a more personal, flexible language, and the slogans and declarative language that characterized his early poetry were replaced by indirect and ostensibly apolitical statements, although politics was never far away. Two of his most celebrated poetry collections, The Music of Human Flesh and Why Did You Leave the Horse Alone, are powerful testaments to his enduring themes. The former delves into the visceral experiences of war and exile, while the latter explores the human spirit's resilience and the longing for a homeland. Throughout his life, Darwish continued to write about the Palestinian cause and the universal human condition. He attended peace conferences and negotiations, hoping for a just resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. On August 9, 2008, the world mourned the loss of Mahmoud Darwish.
An ending that even he couldn't have expressed in words. The life of the Arab world's most celebrated poet is over. How will all those touched by the work of Mahmoud Darwish remember him?
His legacy endures through his timeless poetry, which remains a source of inspiration and consolation for readers worldwide. His poems continue to be anthems of resistance and hope for the Palestinian people, and a symbol of the enduring power of art to transcend even the darkest of circumstances. Darwish's work serves as a reminder that poetry can capture the most profound and complex human emotions, and that through his words, he wove together the tapestry of the Palestinian experience, painting a vivid and poignant portrait of a people's longing for justice and a place to call home.
إذا لم تكن مطرا يا حبيبي فكن شجرا مشبعا بالخصوبة كن شجرا وإن لم تكن شجرا يا حبيبي فكن حجرا مشبعا بالرطوبة كن حجرا وإن لم تكن حجرا يا حبيبي فكن قمرا في منام الحبيبة كن قمرا هكذا قالت امرأة لابنها في جنازته.